Hey, let me tell you a real story from the Bible. This ain't no fairy tale. It's about a man who was the strongest around. I mean, superhuman strong. But guess what? It wasn't an army that brought him down. It was a woman. Her name, Delilah. Let's break this down. So Samson was chosen by God before he was even born. He had this special promise called a Nazirite vow. That meant no cutting his hair, no alcohol, and no touching dead bodies. It was serious. And because of that vow, God gave him strength like no other. This man ripped a lion with his bare hands, took down 1,000 men with a jawbone. Yeah, not normal. But here's the thing, Samson had a weakness. It wasn't his enemies, it was women. He made choices based on what looked good, not what was good, and that set him up for trouble. Sometime later, Samson fell in love with a woman named Delilah, who lived in the valley of Sorek. Now pause right there. Notice it didn't say God told him to go to Delilah. He just saw her and fell in love. No prayer, no wisdom, just feelings. But here's the twist. Delilah was working with the Philistines. Samson's enemies came to her like, hey, we'll pay you big money if you find out the secret behind his strength. And she said, bet. So now Samson is sleeping next to the one person who's secretly trying to destroy him. That's how the enemy works. He won't always come through the front door. Sometimes he'll come through your feelings. So Delilah starts testing him. Samson, tell me how you get so strong. He lies at first, says, tie me with new ropes. She does it. Then she calls out, the Philistines are here. He breaks free like it's nothing. She tries again and again and again. Each time he lies, each time she sets him up, and each time he escapes. But guess what? She keeps pushing. The Bible says she nagged him day after day until he was sick to death of it. This is what happens when we keep entertaining what we should have walked away from. Samson kept going back, and finally, he gave in. Now here's where everything changes. Judges 16, verse 17. Finally, Samson shared his secret with her. My hair has never been cut, he confessed, for I was dedicated to God as a Nazirite from birth. If my head were shaved, my strength would leave me, and I would become as weak as anyone else. Boom! He gave her the one thing he wasn't supposed to give, not just a secret, but his connection to God. He fell asleep, and Delilah shaved his head. Then she called the Philistines again, and this time, he couldn't fight back. His strength was gone. They grabbed him, gouged out his eyes, and made him a slave. All because he trusted someone he shouldn't have loved. So what can we learn from this? Samson wasn't weak on the outside, but he was weak in his choices. He looked strong, but he didn't guard his heart, and that's where he lost. Not on the